more than 5 decades, Charles practiced law in Albemarle, working alongside his father and brother. His career extended far beyond the courtroom. He served as a trusted advocate, community leader, and tireless champion for rural development and economic growth across our state. His steady leadership and wise counsel have guided many organizations, including the North Carolina Bar Association, the Golden Leaf Foundation, and our own Law Alumni Association, which he served as president. Charles embodies Carolina law's core values of access, excellence, and impact. He is a shining example of why Carolina lawyers are essential to the vitality and future of North Carolina.
My name is Charles Brown. I graduated from the University of North Carolina School of Law in 1966. Well, my career spans just shy of 60 years. After finishing law school, I came back to Albemarle, where I was born and raised. The little family firm started in 1878, with my great-grandfather. Came back and started in a general law practice with the best of mentors, the best of teachers one could have. It was my father. What motivates me through the years and my passion to continue practice is the opportunity to help people. Particularly in small towns, there is an expectation that lawyers will become involved in the community. Lawyers will be leaders in the community. Lawyers bring that particular skill set of leadership. We bring analytical skills that few other disciplines, few other professions have. Memories that in my years at Carolina Law are rare and rich and varied as can be. One in particular was in the spring of my first year in law school. Manning Hall had no air conditioning. Professor Coates was engaged in some dialogue with students. He walked across from the front of the classroom, pulled a chair right up in front of one of those large windows. Professor Albert Coates stood, turned to us, standing in the chair, held his hands out and said, Chapel Hill in the middle of dogwood and bourbon season. It does not get any better than this. Motivation to help Carolina law through the years has come in different forms at different times. Sometimes it's working with the Law Alumni Board, chairing that board. Other times it's making donations. To whom much is given, much is expected. I have been blessed far more than I deserve in my life. I have given, I will again. Carolina law can help shape the future in North Carolina. I hope the coming years that Carolina law will impress upon our students the responsibility of stepping up to the plate and helping folks on a state level. I am grateful, immensely grateful for the honor, the recognition this evening, and I give my heartfelt thanks to the Law Alumni Association and to Carolina Law for standing with me and behind me through the 60 years that we partnered together.
Congratulations, Charles, on this richly deserved honor. The tale of North Carolina's legal history cannot be told without highlighting former Chief Justice Henry Frye. He was the first in so many roles, the first African-American student to complete 3 years of study at Carolina Law, and the first African-American justice and later Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court. Justice Frye has been a tireless advocate for access and justice. He has shared this passion with generations of Carolina lawyers and was instrumental in the creation of the school's Director Development Initiative. Justice Frye and his wife Shirley have dedicated their lives to serving others, serving the state, and upholding the rule of law. We are most grateful and deeply indebted.
My name is Henry E. Frye, the class of 1959. I graduated from North Carolina A&T with a degree in biology and chemistry with plans to go to dental school. after completing my required 2-year service in the United States Air Force. Shirley and I drove down to Chapel Hill to the office of Dean Brandis, the dean of the law school. Dean Brandis looked at my transcript and said, "I think you will make a good law student." I entered the 1956 first-year class a few weeks following my marriage to Shirley Taylor. I was not the first African American at Carolina Law. 3 students from North Carolina Central transferred to Carolina Law in their 3rd year. I was the first to enroll as a first-year student and graduate after 3 years of study. Carolina gave me a good foundation from which to work. In December 1982, I received a call from the governor who told me there would be a vacancy on the Supreme Court and said he would like to appoint me. I called Governor Hunt the next morning and said yes. Then in 1990, when Chief Justice Mitchell retired, Governor Hunt appointed me as Chief Justice. I then joined the law firm of Brooks Pierce in their Greensboro office and returned about 18 years later. And here I am today, enjoying old age. I was thrilled to know that you all felt I was worthy of this outstanding award. It means a lot and makes me feel that I have been doing something worthwhile. I love the law and I love to help people. A lot of people have helped me to be a success. They supported me and were proud of me and let me know that. That makes me smile when I wake up in the morning rather than frown.
Congratulations, Justice Fry. Judge David Sentell is a true legal legend. He served on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit for more than 25 years, including 5 of those years as Chief Judge. Judge Sentell also made a point of hiring many clerks from Carolina law, including Judge Richard Myers, and they have gone on to exceptional careers. On the bench, he authored canonical opinions on topics ranging from executive power and national security and administrative law, yet he never lost sight of his mountain roots. And if ever there was any doubt, his trademark cowboy hat and boots offered a quick reminder this David Sentell was unmistakably a North Carolinian. He's led one of the most successful judicial careers of any graduate in our school's 180-year history, and we are deeply proud of his accomplishments.
David B., but called Dave Sentell, had finished Carolina law in 1968 after having finished Carolina undergraduate in 65. I wanted to be a lawyer so early that it's hard for me to even remember how I started wanting to be a lawyer. I was born on Lincoln's birthday, and Lincoln was what we'd call today a country lawyer. And what lawyers did sounded interesting. They worked with people, they helped people, they were leaders in their community. I got a phone call from the Chief Assistant United States Attorney in the Western District of North Carolina. They offered me that position, a year and a half out of law school, of being in charge of the Charlotte office of United States Attorney. And I had 4.5 wonderful years there. I spent 3 years on the state bench in Charlotte. 1985 it would have been, when I did a lot of federal practice as a defense attorney, as I had as an assistant U.S. attorney. Our chief district judge in the federal court was Woodrow Wilson Jones. Woodrow told me that he had decided to take senior status. I was then nominated, confirmed. Jane and I moved back to Asheville to spend the rest of our lives. In case you're wondering, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. I got a call from Washington. Somebody in the Department of Justice asked me if I would be interested in the D.C. circuit. I told him yes, I'd take it if it was offered, and then the next day, I answered the phone myself. This female voice on the other end says, "Judge Sentell, please." I said, "This is Judge Sentell." She said, "The president is calling you. Shall I put him on?" And there's a delicious moment when you think, I wonder what would happen if I said no. I didn't say no. I said, "Yes, put him on. I'm looking at a document appointing you as a judge of the District of Columbia Circuit. Should I sign that document?" "Yes, sir, Mr. President, you think that's a thing to do?" He said, "I'm signing it. Congratulations. God bless you and your family." I said, "God bless you and your family, Mr. President." The die was cast, and because I went to Carolina, I particularly wanted people in Carolina. We were proud of our heritage, our Carolina people that we were able to hire, and it also caused a couple of other judges on our court to take a look at Carolina grads and take some Carolina grads into chambers. Somebody called me and told me I was going to be honored with this, and I was humbly proud, I guess is a self-effacing way to say it, but I was certainly proud that I was going to be receiving this. Carolina meant a lot to me, and it means a lot to be recognized by the alumni. The judge has to be willing to exercise self-restraint. Don't make your mind up about who should win the case. You go in, and your game is to be, as Chief Justice Roberts has said, you're an umpire. You call the ball and the strikes. You have to remember that you're not there to decide the case. I learned that in UNC Law School.
Judge Centel, congratulations on this Lifetime Achievement Award. Judge Carl Fox's career stands as a testament to courage, excellence, and distinguished service. He made history as the first black district attorney in North Carolina, and for decades has been a steadfast leader and advocate for justice across our state. From his years as a prosecutor to his tenure as a Superior Court judge, Judge Fox has embodied fairness, integrity, and compassion, setting the highest standard for the administration of justice. His commitment to public service extends well beyond the bench. Through his example, he has inspired generations of Carolina lawyers and leaders, while strengthening the communities of Orange and Chatham counties and enriching the fabric of North Carolina as a whole.
My name is Carl R. Fox, and I graduated from law school in the class of 1978. In 1984, I was appointed by then-Governor James B. Hunt, Jr., as the district attorney, becoming the first black district attorney in the state of North Carolina. When I was named, I had it clearly in mind that if there was ever going to be another black district attorney in the state of North Carolina, I had better do well in this job. At that time, there were three black district attorneys in the entire country. You've got people like the late Justice Thurgood Marshall. You have people like Chief Justice Henry Fry, and the way they helped someone like me is the way they did their job. They did their job with respect, they did their jobs competently. The appearance of fairness and impartiality, equity, and respect in the courtroom is important. It's also important for people to walk into a courtroom and see people like themselves. I won my first election in 1986. I was appointed March of 2005 as the second Superior Court judge in Chatham and Orange counties by then Governor Michael F. Easley. When I was a student, I was blessed with so many great professors. I had Professor Ken Brown, Professor Bill Aycock was one of the funniest professors you could ever have, and a former chancellor of the university. I had Tom Andrews, who became my mentor. I had told Dean Byrd that if I got into UNC Law School, I was going to make the law school proud of me one day. I knew that this was a tremendous honor, and to be selected out of all the thousands of graduates for this honor is just amazing. I was more excited than I was when I got in law school, and more excited than I was when I passed the bar exam. The one thing I would say to students in law school today is, in your decision making, be able to look into the mirror and say that today, every decision I make is going to be for the best interest of the people I work for. And in no way is it going to be about me and what is in it for me. You'll reap the benefits by doing the right thing and by doing the correct thing.
Judge Fox, we celebrate you and extend our warmest congratulations on this most deserved honor. Allison stands at the forefront of technological innovation in the legal academy. Her ingenuity, creativity, and leadership are an inspiration. Through her insightfulness and initiative, she leverages technology to help usher our profession into the future. Her work advances the practice of law, all in the spirit of best serving clients through the creation of the groundbreaking technology Troutman eMERGE. Her professional accomplishments have not deterred her commitment and support for Carolina law, her community, and serving the greater good. Her example is one that we must follow as lawyers, both in adapting to the ever-evolving technological landscape of the modern world and committing to public service.
I'm Allison Grounds, and I graduated from Carolina Law in 2001. After graduating from Carolina, I joined Troutman Sanders in Atlanta. I was actually recruited here at Carolina from two other Carolina graduates who were at Troutman, including our most recent chairman, Steve Lewis. When I got the offer to join Troutman, I was ecstatic and have been there ever since. I chose Carolina Law for the same reasons I chose Troutman, which was a feel in the people. Carolina was my people. Some of my best friends still in life are people I met here at Carolina Law. I changed my practice probably about my 5th year. I had been working in big litigation matters, and it was at the forefront when the laws were first being changed, the rules were first being amended to address the fact that the way we did business and exchanged information was electronic. The law was changing and the technology was evolving, and it wasn't something lawyers typically did. Troutman eMERGE is a wholly owned subsidiary of the law firm of Troutman Pepper Locke. We offer technology solutions, which aren't normally offered by a law firm. The first thing we started doing was e-discovery. We were focused on assisting clients with the collection, analysis, review, and production of electronic information. I love working with a team of lawyers and technologists, and they make fun custom solutions that make our lives easier and deploy AI to get at the information that we need. I could not have conceived we would be where we are today. I was just thinking, this is something that's being done inefficiently and could be done better, so let's make it better, and that'll benefit our clients and the law firm. I think that to be a leader means kind of sticking your neck out a little bit and being willing to do something that maybe hasn't been the status quo. Mr. Steve Lewis, he and I, even though he's retired, have remained friends, and we went out to dinner with my partner Ashley one night, and he's like, "You got a call from the university, right? You need to call them back." And I was like, "Okay, I'll be sure to do that." He's like, "No, you're getting an award. Like, this is a big call." I was like, "Oh, I had no idea." Steve told me about it, which is very appropriate given the important role he's played in what I've been able to do in his support over the years. I was very honored and a little shocked. I give back to Carolina Law because Carolina gave a lot to me. I feel like I got a bargain education, and it's crazy to me to think about how much I've been able to do with it. It's such a pivotal time with artificial intelligence and new ways of thinking and practicing, and the role we can play as lawyers in both harnessing that technology for good to make legal services more accessible. We also have an important role to ensure that it is deployed in a way that is fair and gets the benefits without the very high risks. It's a really critical time, and it's exciting, but also a little bit scary. But I feel well prepared, having been a Carolina Law grad and being at the forefront of this, so it's been a great journey so far.
Allison, congratulations. From the classroom to the courtroom, Judge Richard Myers has built a career of remarkable breadth and impact. After graduating from Carolina Law, he distinguished himself in the ranks of the legal profession, in private practice, as a prosecutor, professor, and now as Chief Judge of the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of North Carolina. Judge Myers' influence extends beyond his judicial leadership. During his 15 years of teaching at Carolina Law, he mentored and inspired countless students, leaving a lasting imprint on the profession. His service reflects the impact Carolina lawyers can make as an attorney in the classroom, through public service, and on the bench.
I'm Richard E. Myers II, UNC Law, class of '98. I went to UNC Law after having worked as a newspaper reporter here in Wilmington. Got to Carolina Law and the world opened up. Got the opportunity to go to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, where I clerked for Judge David Sentell and spent an amazing year under his mentorship. After I clerked for Judge Sentell, I went out to California, where I was an associate at O'Melveny & Myers in their Los Angeles office. But September 11th happened in 2001, and I decided I was going to send my resume across the street to the U.S. Attorney's Office. So I applied to be federal prosecutor. Did that for about a year. My mom got sick. I called Judge Sentell, who I had clerked for, and said, "Judge, who do you know in North Carolina?" 3 days later, I got a call from Frank Whitney, also a UNC Law alum, and he said, "Do you want to come back to North Carolina to work for me?" While I was there, I was invited to teach as an adjunct at UNC Law by some of my former professors who remain mentors to this day. Lou Billionis, Rich Rosen, and Ken Brown. I taught white-collar crime as an adjunct. Went on to spend 15 years on the faculty. I often said I couldn't think of anything more important to do with my time. I was in that tiny little office, and I thought for sure that I would retire in that office. But the president's team called me and said, "We'd like to nominate you to be U.S. District Judge in the Eastern District of North Carolina." The difference between the job I had before is you send people down the stream of time knowing they're going to make the world a better place, but the timelines are long as a professor. This job, I sit up there and I tell people who sit at that table right there, you're going to federal prison for 200 months. And so you know exactly what you did today. So the timelines are much more immediate. Outcomes are very significant to a smaller number of people, but I can't think of a better place to be at this time in my career than where I am. At every step, UNC Law has been essential to my success. I've been blessed by very, very brilliant people who were affected by UNC Law, giving of themselves and paying it forward from the people they got it from, and have obligated me to pay it forward. I knew full well that I would never have been sitting where I was sitting if some unknown person to me had not decided that they were going to give in such a way that they could fund scholarship programs. The hope is that you take this gift that was given to you, being able to graduate from the law school and being able to participate in the life of the law school as a faculty member. You hope that you've done something to pay back the people who gave it to you, that they see that, all right, we invested in you and you've gone on to make us proud. This is as tangible as it gets from the law school to say you've gone on to make us proud. So it was very humbling. I know a lot of the other recipients over the years who received it, and there are giants. We all stand on the shoulders of giants who have walked out of that law school. I would just like to say thank you to my family. I had a lot of support along the way, and I have a lot of support now. My partner Aaron and my little boy Remy will hopefully be sitting with me when I receive this, and I couldn't be here and do this job without them.
We are proud to honor you, Judge Myers. Congratulations. When I met Isabel as a 1L, I knew she was destined to leave a remarkable impact. As a law student, her commitment to service blossomed while helping restore a veteran's honor through the Military and Veterans Clinic. Isabel exemplifies the kind of good that lawyers do in the world. We are the scaffolding that supports justice, fairness, innovation, and service. I'm so proud of all Isabel has accomplished as she serves our country in the U.S. Army JAG Corps.
My name is Captain Isabel Stevens. I am Carolina Law, class of 21. I am currently sitting here at Fort Carson, Colorado, and part of the Army JAG Corps. It's extremely important to me to uphold the values and that dream that my family came here for. I am a first-generation American from refugees who escaped during the Vietnam War, and a second-generation American from German immigrants. For us and my family in particular, America was genuinely an American dream. There's an immense amount of pride in being able to say that I represent the United States Army, that I represent the JAG Corps, that I represent the 4th Infantry Division. Carolina Law set me up for success through just their rigorous program and being an exceptional school. The academic portion of it taught me how to be competent and adequately understand and research the law, especially in situations where it's not as black and white. Carolina Law has continued to have an impact on me, whether it's meeting fellow Carolina Law alumni within the JAG Corps or having the lifelong mentorship that I was able to get. Working with the Military and Veterans Law Clinic while being at UNC really reinforced the human part of our practice, and that's a value that I carry with me through my day-to-day operations as a trial counsel or when advising commanders. It was an absolute privilege to be told that I was the 2025 Emerging Leader. I recently lost my grandmother who wanted to be a lawyer, and during her time that wasn't a feasible option, and she was the one who inspired me and motivated me and supported me to pursue this path, particularly in the legal field. Knowing that I am the emerging leader is a culmination and respect to the sacrifices that every person before me has made. Additionally, it reinforces that I am in a position to continue to make an impact and maintain that community that I have with UNC. I want to again thank everybody at Carolina Law who spent the time, invested in me, took a chance on me, and helped me get to where I am today. Particularly, I have two very special guests with me in the audience. I have Mr. John Spencer, who was the client that I had the amazing privilege to represent throughout law school here. And I have retired Lieutenant Colonel John Brooker, who has been a lifelong mentor to myself and support for my family. So I just want to take a moment to thank them both, particularly for changing my life and the kind of advocate and professional that I am today.
Congratulations, Isabel. Professor Tom Hazen is an institution at Carolina Law. He's served with distinction on the faculty for 45 years, teaching thousands of Carolina lawyers in contracts, business associations, and securities regulation. Carolina Law students spanning generations know and admire Professor Hazen. During my time as a student, Professor Hazen was regarded as one of the most challenging and influential teachers at Carolina Law. His high expectations and thoughtful guidance, especially as faculty advisor of the North Carolina Law Review, pushed many to grow in ways that have shaped our careers. Professor Hazen is highly regarded in the legal academy, publishing authoritative treatises, monographs, and law review articles on business and securities law. His accomplished time on the faculty has prepared thousands of graduates to succeed in practice, life, and service.
I'm Tom Hazen. I'm the Boshamer Professor of Law, and I've been teaching here at the law school since 1980. What stands out to me from the law school is interacting with students. I've gotten to know a number of the students that I've taught over the years. That's something that's been very rewarding. The North Carolina Law Review, I've been advisor for most of the 40 years that I've been here, and it's probably the most rewarding out-of-class experience that I have at the law school. I can see that I'm able to create value. I have the institutional memory that each new board does not have. Also, over the years, I get to work very closely with the top editors on the review, and that some of those relationships, such as our current dean, go on after law school. In terms of court citations, it's always a very good feeling to see when a court cites you. especially the Supreme Court. I've had one Supreme Court opinion that where both the majority and the dissent in the same case cited one of my books. It's just a very edifying feeling. You feel that the work you put in to do the scholarship has some impact in the world. I first found out about the award when I got a call from one of the board members. Quite frankly, was shocked when Jim mentioned it to me. It was really at a loss for words when he told me, because it really does mean a lot to me. The recognition showing that the graduates, as they go through their careers, remember me, but also feel that maybe I've added a little bit to their careers. The Alumni Association's support of the law school has been incredibly important. Faculty hiring, research support, research assistance, summer grants for the faculty, a lot of that come out of Law Foundation funds. I know I am, and I can speak for the rest of the faculty, extremely grateful for the effort that the alumni put in to help support the school. Martin, our current dean, has taken us to a place we've never been before, and I just hope that we're able to sustain that over the years. Carolina is a very special place, whether it's collegial faculty, the students are just outstanding. It's really hard to put into words what makes it special here, other than there just seems to be an aura around Carolina. Don't tell the dean this, but I'll teach for free. I'll get paid for grading exams, but I teach for free. I mean, it really is that enjoyable. I just love it. I love every aspect of it. I love the classroom. Over the summer, in fact, I sort of get withdrawal when I miss the classroom. And as long as I'm physically and mentally able to do it, it's something that I just enjoy too much.
Professor Hazen, congratulations.